What if I told you the creators of Donkey Kong Country would go on to make one of the best games in a long time? Like, Game of the Year best long time. But if I told you that, I would be lying. Because that's not what happened at all. The creators of Donkey Kong Country didn't make Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah, they have the same characters, but then why does Donkey Kong look so different in Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World? Could it be a new Donkey Kong like his son? Possibly. But then why do the other characters from the old games still look the same? And why is Pauline 13 years old here, but fully an adult here? Okay, that last one didn't make any sense at all. Roll the intro. I don't have an intro. So what happened really? How did we go from this a few years earlier to this? I mean, they don't even look similar. What happened? As I said previously, Nintendo didn't exactly come up with the original idea for Donkey Kong. Well, they did, just not the game where we play as him. By now, everyone knows that the original Donkey Kong, the one climbing girders in the arcade cabinets, aged into the surly ape we all know and love as Cranky Kong. It's also fairly common knowledge that the current day Donkey Kong and the one with the sporty tie is actually Cranky's grandson. Nintendo basically said, hey Rareware, can you make us a peak new game for this age-old character we have? Like all these other games you've made recently, they're pretty epic, so do something hype. Thereafter, Rare makes 3 Donkey Kong Country games and has a universe amount of side characters involved in each Donkey Kong Country game. Many years later after this, Rare falls off hard, like more than popular MMOs. Sorry, I actually like that guy. But they get bought by Microsoft, and the games that were Nintendo exclusives are now on Xbox, which blows my mind to this day. I mean, imagine Mario 64 would now be playable on PlayStation. It doesn't even make sense. So back in the today, the current design of Donkey Kong we know was created by a company that is technically part of Microsoft. So Nintendo decides, like every modern company, that slightly changing the design will rework their entire brand into Jesus.
Have you heard of Jesus? Well, even he couldn't do as much as flex tape, apparently.
It's a way for them to stay hip, you know, to evolve with the times, to show everyone that they're still cool. But a lot of the time, these changes suck, and they piss me off way more than they should. When Google changed their logo from this clean serif font to this, it was the end of the world. Everybody flipped out, myself included, because this just looked childish. Even used some animation with kids drawing the logo in chalk to reveal it. Like, it felt like they thought I was stupid. But then I realized something. I am stupid.
This is a great idea, except for literally every other Donkey Kong Country character. Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Cranky Kong, even Rambi in the current Donkey Kong Bonanza. I mean, they look new because of better graphics, but the design is still there, unlike our surly ape Donkey Kong. I still think it's possible Nintendo wanted to keep continuity with previous material relating to Donkey Kong, which before Donkey Kong Bonanza was the newly released Mario movie with Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is playing Mario in the Mario movie? Chris Pratt is playing Mario in the Mario movie?
This is mostly true, but still some characters like Diddy Kong have different designs in the Mario movie versus Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, a recent theory, a game theory, it's not as cool as when he does it. My game theory of this is Donkey Kong the Third can't be the same as in the previous games because he is a new Kong. Take a look at the box art for Donkey Kong on the Game Boy Advance. This is an adult Pauline with the previously noted Cranky Kong and his son, Donkey Kong Jr., which is DK the Third's father. Now in Bonanza we have a younger Pauline and an older original Donkey Kong, and his grandson is around. How is this possible? I wanted to make a video around this before Donkey Kong Bonanza was released, but it was very possible this would be explained at some point through the game about the timeline structure. Many people were getting stuck on Pauline, this character here, originally named Pauline, not actually being Pauline at all. In fact, let me just have my boy, my goat, MatPat, explain this.
I made a theory years ago about the Mario timeline and how Jumpman from the original Donkey Kong was actually the father of the Mario that we know today. In that theory, I made this throwaway comment about Pauline being modern Mario's mother. Pauline has appeared in Super Mario Odyssey as well as other spin-off titles, causing some doubt as to my initial theory. Either Pauline is looking mighty fine for her age, or she's not actually Mario's mother. So is my theory busted? Heck no. Nintendo has made it clear that this pink pile of pixels is not Pauline. Rather, she's someone new entirely. Another lady named Lady. Lady has been referred to in promotional material as far back as 2015. She was only called Pauline back in the 80s because of a translation error in the American version of Donkey Kong. When Nintendo of Japan released the Game Boy sequel starring Super Mario and a grown-up DK Jr., they canonized Pauline as a separate character. You can actually see this in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as both Pauline and Lady spirits are labeled separately. This means that my initial theory still stands. Lady is Mario's mother, and Pauline is now in Mario Odyssey.
So yeah, Nintendo does have some pretty famous timelines, so I think they have made another one that only Magnus Carlsen could solve. My best guess is the Rareware design was created by the new Microsoft Rare because Nintendo wanted to have ownership of their own character, basically. I mean, why would they keep a design from people who were now part of Microsoft? But who knows, other than Nintendo, and the overthinking could be the death of us, or they just wanted to change his design because it's been so long, like actually in world maybe it's been that long from the last game, and he has changed a bit from, like, 3 years ago, like when I emerged from my house in Animal Crossing. It's possible we'll never know why Nintendo has done this, or anything they ever do, honestly. It's Nintendo, for God's sakes. Nintendo classically waits to tell anyone anything, even when people already know. Or maybe we're gonna find out in the near future. Anyways, I would say hip thrust that mother like button, but just subscribe this time. Make sure you rebrand the subscribe button into a new one, although I think YouTube's already done that for me, so maybe do it again. That would be great.